Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Devin Shea from Aligned Life Chiropractic and Wellness. And today I'm going to be sharing creating space to thrive at home and in the office. This is our third quarterly series of this series of talks. And I'm really excited to get into this with you today because this is all about putting yourself in the right environment to heal and to be expressing abundant health as often as possible so that you can be able to do the things in your life that you're really capable of doing and that you want to be doing. So today, just as a reminder, an aligned life is all about living in full responsibility for your health, which is a massive undertaking, and I understand that. But this is so, so important. You want to identify what it is that you're looking for in your life, in the big picture, in the future, down the road, and then align your daily behaviors with that long-term vision. And that's really what we're going to be doing today, is helping to be able to make those alignment-based decisions that will help you to get the life that you deserve. So today I'm going to be covering 5 different spaces that are in your home and in your office. And we're going to talk about exactly how to make them in a way that are really going to be encouraging your body's natural capacity to heal. So as a chiropractor, I always talk about 4 things in our practice. We want to be eating well, we want to be moving well, we want to be thinking well. That's stress management, that's self-talk, that's goal setting. And then we want to be structurally well. That's all associated with the spine. So in respect to the spine itself, remember, the big idea with chiropractic is that your spine houses and protects your spinal cord and your nerves. The spinal cord and the nerves are the main communication system of your entire body. So this is like having good cell phone service between your brain and your body. We don't want to have 1 bar of service. We want to have 5 bars of service so that messages are getting very easily from the brain through the spine across those nerves into all the organs and tissues, and not just muscles and bones, guys. This is also into your glands and into your organs. The other piece of this that's critical that oftentimes is forgotten is that your spine is the main structural support of your body. So I have a picture here on the screen of these steel girders. These are these big beams that are used when we're going to create like a high rise. Well, your body is that high rise, guys. And we don't want to have structural support that is weak or that is in a position that's starting to collapse, because then all of a sudden the entire building becomes more susceptible to damage and breakdown. And ultimately, when we're talking about the human body and the spine, this is the same type of process that we see. So the big idea here is, if you want structural support for your body and you want good communication of your nervous system throughout your entire body, the chiropractic piece is a really important part. And I think, look, guys, we all understand that we need to eat right and exercise. I think that that's well documented. The part that isn't often understood is the mind, which is this whole mindset and think well component. And it's also our structure and our nervous system. So today we're going to be talking about how we put ourselves in an environment that supports our structure, that supports our nervous system, that supports our ability to be able to maintain a stress-reduced environment. You'll notice I didn't say stress-free, guys. This is not a pipe dream here. We don't operate in a bubble, but we want to eliminate as much stress as we can, because when we think about your nervous system, it has 2 parts. It's the fight or flight system, and it has the rest, recovery, repair, focus, and concentration system. That's called the parasympathetic system. We want to activate that parasympathetic. Unfortunately, these days we spend way too much time on the sympathetic fight or flight mode. We don't often get back into rest, recovery, repair. So one of the ways that we can do that is by taking a very deliberate approach at creating our environment, or another word for that is space, especially in our homes, in our offices. Because guys, look, this is where we spend our time. And by the way, I'm fully aware, some of you, your home is your office, especially since all this COVID stuff. Home and office have really become this blended space, which means it's even more important that we take a very critical look at how we create these spaces. So with these things in our thoughts, guys, I just want to jump into the next slide, which is going to be looking at this idea of a challenge that we may face and also an advantage. So the challenge that we face is the fact that although we adapt really well to our changing environments, our bodies can only tolerate a certain amount of change or a certain length of time where we are having to adapt. We call these physiologic changes. So the way that our body functions adapts to the environment around us. So silly examples of this are if you go to altitude, your body will all of a sudden carry more red blood cells to be able to increase your oxygen carrying capacity. It does this without us thinking of that. If we, let's say, drink too much alcohol, our body becomes very good at processing alcohol through our system so that it makes it so that we can do that at a more effective rate, which ultimately means you need to drink more in order to be able to feel the same thing. But you get the idea, okay, guys? The biggest challenge that we face is the fact that these changes that we see from a lifestyle perspective, they don't happen overnight. So you may go and after a long period of time of not exercising, you may go and exercise once. That does not mean that all of a sudden you're going to be fit for the rest of your life. You may have eaten poorly for years and years and years, and you decide that you're going to eat a salad. Unfortunately, that doesn't make you skinny and thin for the rest of your life and have great body function. That's not the way that it works. These are changes that happen over a very long period of time, and this is a slow process of adaptation. So what's difficult about this is even if you were to make all the changes that I talk about in our lecture tonight, it doesn't necessarily mean that the following day that all of this, all of the health problems you may be experiencing or the goal of being able to maintain your quality of life and your performance are all of a sudden going to be maximized. Guys, these are latent effects. They don't take place acutely. They take place over time. So be patient with your body and how it's responding as we go throughout this process. Be a patient, as I always like to say, okay? So with those things in our thoughts, let's jump to the first room in our home, which is going to be the bedroom. So a couple of key factors of bedroom preparation in order for us to be able to maintain eat well, move well, think well, and structurally well, especially the structural aspect of this. So I like a firm mattress for the purpose of being able to truly support the spine. I'm not talking about like a rock hard situation. I'm just talking about something that's not so loose that your spine is deforming if you were to be laying on your back or on your side. Sleep position is incredibly important, guys. So we're not going to be on our stomachs. We're going to be on our back or on our side all the way through the night. I know that this is a very difficult position to be able to monitor because we're not really aware of what's going on during we're sleeping. That's okay. We want to just set ourselves up for success. So we get a nice firm mattress and we get a supportive pillow. You'll notice the picture in this screen here, guys. This is called the proper pillow. This is a pillow that my family's been sleeping on for years. This is a contoured pillow. You'll notice in this picture here that there's a contour that supports the neck and then cradles the back of the head. This pillow is unique in that it is not a very thick pillow in general. It is a low profile pillow. Otherwise, what I see with a lot of pillows on the market is they'll have a tendency to push us forward into forward head posture positioning, which is really what we're spending the majority of our day in the rest of the time. So we sure as heck don't want to be spending our time while we're sleeping the other 8 hours of the day, based upon our pillow alignment and so forth. So you're on your back or your side. This pillow allows for both. The sides of the pillow are designed, they're buffered up so that you can take into account the fact that between your body and your head, you've got to account for this space here, which is the shoulder. You really want to be able to use a pillow that's going to give you and make up this gap between shoulder and head. When you're sleeping on the sides of this pillow, it will actually help you to be able to do that. When you're sleeping in the middle, you can sleep on your back. Now you're in a nice, healthy position. So it's called the proper pillow. We sell those at the office, guys. I also recommend in your bedroom an air purifier. If you're going to spend 8 hours of your day, every single day in this one space, you may as well make it so that your body is breathing clean air all the time. We want to ideally be breathing through our nose. If you want more information on this, there's a book called Breathe. Highly recommend it. Fantastic reference. There's some discussion in that book where two researchers actually tape their mouths closed for a period of a month, and they only breathe through their nose. And then conversely, they close their nose and they only breathe through their mouth for a period of a month. And what you'll notice based upon their evidence, not only in the research, but also anecdotally in their story, in their book, is that their health is dramatically impacted when they're breathing through their nose. The air is filtered, it's warmed, it's purified. These are all things that really are important in being able to keep our body healthy and strong. So breathe through your nose. There's even tape that is specifically for this. You can find that on Amazon. I know that sounds crazy and it may scare your spouse, but at the same time, could be a good worthwhile experiment to try. You'll also enjoy the air purifier. It gives a little bit of a white noise feel to it also, which is kind of nice. That'll help to get you into that deep REM sleep. High thread count sheets, guys, on those beds. We spend so much money on things that make absolutely no difference in our lives, okay? We spend thousands of dollars on insurance. We spend thousands of dollars at Starbucks. We spend thousands of dollars on things that really make no difference. It's okay to spend money on the things that you're going to use all the time. High thread count sheet is and pillowcases. This is going to make it so that you're going to be able to get into that deep sleep very quickly. If you have a situation where you have a lot of ambient light going on, maybe you live in the city or you're in downtown San Diego or another part of town, you will want to use an eye mask to be able to, again, signal to your body and your brain that it is time to turn off and start to get some deep sleep. So an eye mask can be helpful. In association with this, I strongly recommend do not use your cell phone 1 hour up until the time of bed. The blue light associated with this kicks on your nervous system and we'll try to keep it going. We don't want that. We want to, again, signal to your brain that this is time to shut down. I love using a good book that doesn't pique my interest and doesn't take me down a rabbit hole of reading for 3 hours. I want something that's going to kind of knock me out, really simple read, get yourself to a good space, and then deep sleep will be the natural consequence. So bedroom changes, think about what you have in your current bedroom. Think about what you could add or maybe subtract from your current environment and then make those changes in respect to bedroom. Let's move to the next space, which is going to be, I'm calling this your movement center, guys. In my home, this is my garage. This could be a little corner in the side of your room. If you only have a studio apartment and you're just to the side of that, that's great. That'll work just the same. Sometimes this might be in your kitchen or your living room or a spare bedroom. I don't care where this is. Or maybe you just go to the gym and you're someone who's like, look, I don't want exercise equipment in my home. That's fine, but you need to have access to these items. Your foam roll, your yoga mat for your stretching. I love a percussion massage gun. We swear by the Hypervolt by Hyperice. We use these every day in the clinic. They never break. The battery life is awesome. They provide a really deep percussive massage. We sell those in the office, guys, as you know. They work really, really well. There's a commercial use size, and then there is a smaller sort of home use size. It's called the Go, Hypervolt Go. It's about half the price. I recommend this for home use. A lacrosse ball is a fantastic place or a fantastic thing to keep if you only have a smaller place. Your foam roll and your lacrosse ball are all about working out some of the scar tissue and the knots that are found in the tissues around your body. So if you've got a shoulder problem, working your trap, your pec, your lat, your external rotators. These are all great ways to be able to work on shoulder. If it's a spine issue, maybe you're working neck, maybe you're working mid back or low back. If it's hips, you get the idea. So you can work on all these things on your own. If you need exercises, come and find us. We'll make sure that we get you something specific to your needs. I love resistance bands, guys, because they can be pretty much taken anywhere. When we travel, we bring all of these things pretty much with us, unless we've identified that the place that we're going has a gym that's going to supply us with these things. Bands and lacrosse balls are really easy to stick into our carry-ons. I also love, for those of you that are using your home traction orthotic, they're called Denarolls. Your Denaroll product is a great thing to have in your movement center. Your weights, if you want to have weights, whether that's in the form of a kettlebell or you just have like dumbbells or you actually have a bench or something like that, that would be fantastic. And then any other exercise or sports equipment, put this stuff in a place where you can get to it easily. You want to lower the activation energy. Remember, movement is a required nutrient in order for your body to express health. If you do not provide a required nutrient, you are forcing adaptive physiology. You're forcing your body to change the way that it should function in order for you to actually get back to a healthy space. We want to be at homeostasis, guys. That's balanced cell function. The only way to do this is if you have movement on a regular basis. This has to be a part of your deal. Make it easy by having a movement center in your home. Next room, let's talk about the kitchen. Everybody's place to gather, everybody's place to hang out. I love the kitchen. I don't even know why we have other rooms in the house. When we have people over, everybody just hangs out in the kitchen. I don't know if you guys have noticed this in your own life, but the kitchen is where it all goes down. So a couple of really key things you want to add and definitely some things you want to subtract. I'm hoping that today you're going to take at least one of these suggestions and build this into your life. So you want to stock your shelves and your refrigerator with, and you'll see on here I put real food. Okay, none of this processed stuff, none of the refined sugars, none of the trans fats, none of the MSG, all these things that oftentimes we find in our home. We want real food, guys, just like the stuff you see in these pictures here on the side. We want real food stocking the shelves. You can't eat what's not in your home. If you're at the house and you're hungry, you're going to find something that's there and you're going to eat it. I have no willpower, guys. I say this every talk. I'm fairly certain I have no willpower. So if I get home and there's food that's not healthy in my refrigerator or in my cupboard, I will eat it. It is not in my best interest, but I don't have any willpower. So I'm the prime example, and maybe you are too, of what it's like of having the environment be clean such that it facilitates a clean lifestyle. So make sure you're eating real food. One of the ways to do this and to keep sugar out of your home is only buy dessert when you're at a restaurant. Don't keep sugar or things that you would use for baking in your home. If you eat a nice meal and you want to have some dessert at the end of that time frame, the benefit of that is it's probably a good dessert, which is kind of nice. It's a treat and should only be a treat. But simultaneously, you're not having multiple servings of the same thing. You don't buy the tub of ice cream and then have 2.5 weeks worth of ice cream that's in that thing. It's a single use situation that minimizes the amount that you're doing it. Nobody's perfect. We're not looking for perfection. In fact, I think it would be silly if you weren't enjoying your life, but this shouldn't be a part of your daily experience. Clean water in the kitchen is essential, guys. Our body is predominantly water. We want to drink clean water. We know based upon the research, when we get the water reports at the end of the year from the water company, the power company, and so forth, there are a whole host of things that are found in our water, including things like pharmaceutical drugs, because people are flushing drugs. It gets out into our food or our water supply and ultimately can impact us. These are trace minerals. They're supposedly at certain, safe levels. But guys, why even deal with this at all? Water purifying systems are available for your entire house. You can do reverse osmosis systems or just drink filtered water out of your refrigerator that maybe already has a filter in it. Something at least where we're taking a step to get ourselves some healthy, clean water. Meal prep containers are an essential, guys. You want to be able to meal prep. We'll talk more about this in a second. Preparation for putting clean food in your body is critical. So having the appropriate storage containers, which are these guys here, they're glass and they have airtight lids that go on them. You can find them on Amazon or they sell them at Costco. We got ours at Costco. They were glass. They're fantastic. We use them all week long. I love opening my refrigerator and you see all the pre-made food. It's all there. You go in at lunchtime, boom, you grab this and this, you put it together, you make something amazing, and you're eating clean food, keeping you in a good, safe place from a health perspective all week long. Blenders, cast iron skillets. These are for your smoothies, and these for making really healthy meals at your home. The cast iron will automatically give you a little bit more of those trace minerals coming out of the iron itself. Clean those in the correct fashion. Put them in the oven, put a little bit of oil on them. You don't want to just put those into the dishwasher. Keep those items really, really great so that they can provide you with the correct environment for your food to live in, right? You want to eat food that eats well too, and you want to eat food that was prepared in a healthy environment as well. Last one that I put in here is music. This is my personal recommendation. Guys, we have this music system. It's called the Sonos system, S-O-N-O-S. I love this music system. It hooks up to your phone. You can play it, and wherever the speaker is, you can have them throughout your house. But if you have a family or a spouse or a partner or friends that you want to cook food with, guys, this is one of the best ways to socialize in a healthy environment. And it's so fun, whether you're baking something or whether you're making dinner or you're just preparing your meal prep for on Sundays, you're doing your meal prep. Crank the tunes, have some fun with your family. This is a really great way to build in a lifestyle of doing this that's actually going to be fun, and that'll be something that you want to do each week, especially if you have kids. This would be highly recommended. Let them choose the music, okay? Guys, let's talk about the bathroom next. So in the bathroom, there's a few things that I really have you guys focus on. The first one is what we're putting onto our bodies. Our deodorant, we want to be aluminum free. We don't want a deodorant that actually stops the flow of sweat coming from the body. Sweat is normal, okay? We need to be sweating. We don't want to have those active ingredients in there. We just want to make it so that it doesn't stink, right? We want to be able to live our lives and not be the smelly person in class, okay? So aluminum-free is critical. Your body soap, we use Dr. Bronner's, that's that orange one here or yellow one here on my screen. The peppermint version of Dr. Bronner's, if you've ever used this, beware, if you put it on your sensitive areas, you're going to want to clean that soap off really quickly. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit of a hot potato effect in there. It can be very spicy. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've done this. The other versions of this, the other flavors or scents, if you want to think of it that way, ones like citrus and lavender and so forth, these do not have that same experience. So I like using those. I'd recommend those versions. There's also just one that has no scent whatsoever that you could use. Like if you have children, that's a good option. Toothpaste, I like fluoride free. That's hard to say. Fluoride free is, the reason for that is fluoride we know is a neurotoxin, guys. So I know these are small amounts, but I just don't want this stuff calcifying my pineal gland in my brain. I need that sucker to be able to do its job. I'm not a big fan of getting rid of parts of the body that we need to have functioning. So fluoride free Toms, this is a great example here, guys. You can see on my screen, this Toms is a great example of that. It's naturally fluoride free. It's a great option for that. Shampoo, we want that to be sulfate free so that we're not putting chemicals into our bodies through our hair when we're going in doing a shower. And then the last piece is in the bathroom, we have all of our supplements. So we have fish oil, multivitamin, probiotic, and vitamin D. These are the ones that I take. Again, we don't take these because we're trying to eliminate a symptom, right? We're taking these on a wellness basis. What that means is I'm taking them because I don't want to express symptoms. I don't want to have health consequences. So I take these on a regular basis, week in and week out for years, and I'll probably be taking these till the end of my life so that I don't express symptoms. I highly recommend keeping those in the bathroom. Once you've done this, you've got a really nice place that is going to be supportive of your healing. Next, let's talk a little bit about the living room. So a few things that are happening in our living room, and this honestly could probably be a little bit of, our living room is kind of like a flex space. So there's a few different things that are happening here. One of the things that we have in the living area is we have a monthly calendar. And actually, to be honest, you'll notice here, guys, this is our setup or a type of setup that you could utilize where there's a calendar that's there, and then there's a chore chart. If you've got kids or you have a non-compliant spouse or friends or roommates, this is a really great idea. You want to run your home like you run a business. That means everybody has roles. If you keep people to their roles and you put people in places where they're going to excel, things are going to go well, okay? We apply the same strategies in the home and in the office. So the calendar lets everybody know exactly what's going on for the week, and the chore chart lets everybody know what they're responsible for, so that way everything gets done and the home stays clean. That's a key piece. In our living room, we discourage television shows and movies that have unhealthy images or materials or messages. Guys, what you put into this is what you think about. You are literally feeding a system that is constantly working on trying to solve problems. So if you're putting into this things that are unhealthy, you're going to solve a lot of problems that you really don't need to be dealing with. Again, we want to sleep well. I don't know about you guys, but if I watch something really scary, a horror movie or something, that I'm not sleeping well for a few nights, it's not worth it. We don't need that stuff in our lives. So let's be mindful about what we're putting into our minds. On a similar path, eliminating or reducing social media usage. I got off all the social media 2 years ago. Probably one of the best things I've done for my health. Maybe it's impacted me negatively from a business perspective, but guys, if I could be honest with you, I don't care. I'd rather be in a healthy space mentally and provide better for my patients when they're sitting in front of me in the clinic, rather than be thinking about all the things associated with social media. My team does my social media. That's a great way to do it. Delegate it. If you want to have a social media person in your family, make sure that that person is aware of the consequences of this. There's a new episode that had just come out recently at the time of this recording on Rich Roll's podcast. They are having someone on there from Facebook, and they're talking about Facebook and how it relates to mental health. And some of the statistics on there are just shocking. So if you're looking for more information on that, I would definitely recommend taking a look at Rich Roll's podcast. I also like in our living room, guys, and really throughout my entire home, if I could show this to you guys, you would see that there's inspiring artwork. There are posters, there's messages, there's quotes that are all over the place. Again, we want to feed our brain with positive thoughts that are going to help us to be able to achieve the life that we want. And the last piece is, this is one that we incorporated at the end of or actually the beginning of last year. This was one of our goals for 2023, I think, or 2022, excuse me. We wanted to create a meditation center. So we had these little pillows that we set up. And when I call it a meditation center, I think that's being generous. It's literally a pillow in the corner of my room. I have a little place that we have a humidifier that we put in some essential oils. Just smells nice. You sit there, you kind of get yourself into a good headspace. We put this little Buddha there that was like a statue. It's just fun, right? You can do that. Find a little place in your home, wherever that may be, where you can take some time out mentally and get a chance to recharge. So that's all the stuff that's happening in the living room. Next, I want to talk about what you can do in the office. So from an office perspective, guys, ultimately the whole idea here is we want to take all the same characteristics of the home environments that we've just talked about and infuse them into our office facility. Again, I know that sometimes your home is your office. So I get that, which ultimately means you need to be even more evaluating and you've got to really be on top of this. You've got to be constantly going back and saying, am I following through with some of these things that I know to be the best way to live? Otherwise, your home environment can just blend into the work environment, and now everything's somewhat of a mess. So a sit-stand desk, you guys know that I'm a huge believer in this. You guys know that the research is totally supportive of changing your body position. Even though you're sedentary, you're not moving, changing your body position, whether that's on an exercise ball, going crisscross applesauce, being in a lunge position, laying on your stomach, or standing, or even now these days, you'll notice on this picture that I have here, I chose this deliberately because in this picture, you'll see that this gentleman is actually on a bit of a treadmill, which you can do while you're getting your work done. So you're getting your steps in while you're getting your work done and being sedentary. I love this idea. This is definitely a next level, using technology to our advantage rather than to the typical disadvantage of being in front of a computer and a laptop and so forth. In your office, you can always have a foam roll, or if you can't have a foam roll because your space is confined, put a lacrosse ball in your backpack and take it with you to the office, or your gym bag or whatever, take it with you to the office. A supportive chair, and I love a lumbar support. It helps to round out that low back curve and be able to maintain that upright postural position that we always want to be able to be in. So a supportive chair, add the lumbar support, that's going to be helpful. If you have room in your office, you can add a mini fridge to be able to house your meal prepped food. If you can't do that, then go ahead and just take a lunchbox with you with a little bit of an ice pack in it. Throw your prepackaged food in there from the week, your pre-made meals, so that way you're getting your food with you. Take your snacks, take your clean water. I love having plants in an office, guys. If you could see my space over here, I'm in my loft right now, and we have this big hanging plant. It's beautiful. It's all about giving you some good, healthy oxygen next to the air purifier. Again, the inspiring art, the quotes, the pictures, and then guys, be the person in your office that does a monthly health challenge. Infuse your people, your community, with healthy challenges. Be that person who is raising the level or raising the standard of how people live. I guarantee if you're the person doing this, you will reap the benefit of putting on a monthly challenge in your workplace. This is a great way to gain some community, but it's also a great way to gain accountability. So think very hard about what you can do in order to be able to, and guys, ideas for this would be like, hey, 30 days of no sugar. Hey, I'm going to do 30 days of push-ups. I'm going to do 30 days of, making sure I'm getting enough water, which is half my body weight in ounces of water each day. Just set it up, make it informal, make it fun, set up a reward or something at the end of it, and just do it once a month. Be that person for your office. Your community will thank you for it. Last one, guys. This is critical. So out of all the things that we've talked about today, all of this is just information, unless you're willing to actually take the action steps necessary to really make the spaces of your home and your office conducive to your overall health. So I highly recommend, first step, get rid of all the stuff. all the things that are in your world right now from a physical space perspective that are leaching your health from you, whether that's in a big way or in a slow, small way. Take out a huge couple of trash bags, go through your pantry. Take out some trash bag, go through your refrigerator. Take out a trash bag and go through your closet. Get all the stuff out of there. Donate the things that you can. Anything that adds stress to your system and forces your body to adapt and take you out of homeostasis, get it out of the house, get it out of the office. Yes, this takes time, no question, but is it worth it? Yes, 1,000,000%. Take the time to do this. Marie Kondo, this is the book right here, guys. I love this book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. She's also got a couple of shows that are now on Netflix that you can watch where she goes in and actually helps people to be able to tidy up their space. I think one of them is called Sparking Joy. That's a great resource for you to be able to actually see how she implements this idea of cleaning out the spaces so that only things that are left that spark joy and bring ourselves into a healthy mindset and into a healthy environment are left over. So that's a great resource for you. Check out that book. That can be found on Amazon. Last piece is, what do you want to add in? Sundays, guys. And this could be, by the way, be any day of the week for you. In my family, it's Sundays. Sundays are our prep week. There's no excuse going into the work week to not be prepared. Especially if you have a job that you've been working or a school that you've been going to for a period of time, you know what to expect, guys. Be the master of your environment. Be the master of your time. There's no way you could ever show up late if you took care of all of these steps. So on Sunday, my wife and I go to Costco and we fill up the cars. Or if you have an electric vehicle, plug that sucker in. Be ready. So that way you're not going to have to think about that during the week. Do your laundry. I outsource my laundry to my kids. I pay them an allowance for that. You don't need to be doing all these things. They just need to get done. Grocery shop. Go to those healthy grocery stores. Divide that up, because guaranteed you're not going to be able to find everything you want from one store. So we go to Jimbo's for some, like our proteins, because we love the meat from there, and a couple of little specialty items, and then we get the rest of the stuff from Ralph's in my neighborhood. Then do your meal prep. Chop up all the things that you need from a vegetable and fruit perspective, put them in your containers. Go ahead and cook all the meats so that everything is done in season, okay? Put it into your refrigerator. Then you can just combine those things as you go throughout the week so you're not eating chicken and broccoli every single day, okay? Make it fun, make it delicious. Go through your calendar, not just yourself, but review it with your family, review it with your spouse, review it with your roommates so that everybody is aware of what's going on. And then that way you can support one another rather than being caught off guard and not having what you need in order to be successful throughout the week. We hold a family meeting every week on Sunday. This is a chance for us to discuss what's on the calendar, identify problems that are happening in the family, pick up things that need to be improved, or talk about, how are we going to get logistical things to happen? Who's picking up so-and-so from this place? How are we going to get them from there? Are we getting the grandparents to cover the shifts and so forth of the kids if we're not around and we're both working? So these are the things you need to be thinking about and identifying it early so that it can happen and be effective and reduce your stress. Pay your kids your allowance. If you're the only person that's listening to this and you're the only one in your home, pay yourself an allowance for doing a great job. Give yourself a little bit of fun money so you can go and do something that you deserve because you've worked really hard and you've prepared effectively. Last thing is, again, go the extra mile, guys. I lay out my clothes every night so that I know what I'm wearing. I don't want to have to decide that in the morning. I put out the food that I'm going to eat. My supplements are out. All my personal stuff, my toothbrush, my shaving stuff, all of that is laid out. Everything is ready to go. I wake up on time. I get all these things done very quickly. I'm efficient so that I can get to the office effectively, do what I need to do. There's no excuse, guys. You're the master of your destiny. Take the steps required to make it easy on yourself. If you're going to go to work for 30 years, you may as well make it easy. If you're going to go and be an incredible spouse or a mother or father to your children, take your life seriously. Set yourself up to be successful. Don't wait. Don't have things happen and wish you would have done a better job with planning. All of these steps are things that you could do this week and totally change the way that your life is going to happen. Remember, these changes take place over time. Give yourself grace. Be a patient. And I hope that this has really impacted the way that you guys do things. I've enjoyed sharing this with you, and be on the lookout next quarter. We're going to be covering creating space to thrive in your relationships. Other videos that we have already completed in Q1 and Q2, creating space to thrive in your mind and creating space to thrive in your physical body. Those can be found on my YouTube channel at Dr. Devin Shea. If you've enjoyed this, make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel. We're putting out content all the time. You'll see a bunch of other videos on there. Thanks so much for listening to guys. Have a healthy week. I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.